It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And at center stage, it's the Raiders' towering wide receiver. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Raiders and the Chiefs, next on EA Sports.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by.
22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway from Kansas City. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his fourth season in the NFL.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he is brought down. 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. 3rd and 5. Mahomes going to throw. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyquan Thornton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3-and-out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3-and-out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us to rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And his ability to use his legs has given the defense fits when trying to game plan. He's currently 2nd in the NFL in rushing yards by a QB. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3-and-out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They can't.
Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch here by St. Brown. Good for a first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. In motion goes the tight end. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. 27 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 3rd down at 6. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And down he goes. Brought down. Like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And they punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. We're going to look at Amon-Ra St. Brown as his offense readies for the next drive.
Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
2nd and 11. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll run on the inside handoff. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Over the middle, it's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
This one complete. It's Rashee Rice.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Shedding the tackle. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
Powering his way forward. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
In motion, the tight end. Throwing now is Mahomes. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 2.
Mahomes now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And it'll be intercepted.
It's Brian Branch with it, and the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
On play action, they'll throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. That's taken on the 25. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll get this up to about the 40.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
From midfield, here's Mahomes.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Mahomes to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
From the 25, here's 2nd and a couple.
At the Raiders' 25-yard line.
In motion left, that's Thornton.
Now here's Mahomes.
Completes this one with Thornton.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now Mahomes. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Back to throw now on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
Well, these two teams met in Vegas earlier in the season with the Raiders winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because that incompletion's on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
KC's offense ready to take over.
And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
In motion left, that's Thornton.
From the 22, Mahomes throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rice. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
First down. First
The slot man in motion right. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll look to throw now on first down.
Got his man. It's Thornton.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Mahomes to throw once more. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Mahomes going to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Butker's kick here is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime.
For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was the visiting Chargers who were able to come in and steal one on the road. C.J. Stroud, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. 25-10, the final score. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Trevor Lawrence leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force the incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And down to the 36-yard line here. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw.
That is caught.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Hands it off out of the gun.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Pass complete right side to Bowers.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Derek Hall.
He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 42. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the 1st. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and that will keep this a 3-point game. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this fourth quarter deficit. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second down and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on third down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this one is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Back to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas first. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Looking to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Bowers. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. They need 2. Here's third down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second and third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. Back to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders will add to their fourth quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team is playing, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He finds his man, complete. It's Thornton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
At the 38-yard line.
Thornton, the motion man right.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
He'll get this complete to Worthy.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now here's Mahomes.
Throw finding Thornton over the middle.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
A 4-yard loss makes it 3rd down and
From midfield, here's Mahomes.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Mahomes now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Barkley, inside handoff. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
Now Mahomes. And the Raiders have got him. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Gotta avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
The Raiders offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter, Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for